important. Like Jeston said, we have to never forget who our source is, but we have to always look around and see what our resources are.
Right.
To make sure that we're not running ourselves in the ground. How important do you see that in business, Jeston?
Extremely important. I'm over here having flashbacks of that word delegate. I shake every time somebody say that because that has been one of the biggest struggles that I have had, is to trust someone else to do something as if you were doing it. That's what delegating is. And you know, and that to the next level is accepting responsibility for that person that you delegated actions.
Right.
So if you delegate someone to do something, if it's as simple as house sitting, and you come back and the house is burned down, you really have to take that blame upon yourself because you delegated it to that person. And I think that obviously is on one end of the spectrum, but that's a scary end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I try not to let fear be a deciding factor, but when you are starting something new, I believe that takes on a life of its own. And in business, you know, right now we're proudly celebrating 6 years. And so when you look at 6 years, you know, that's you know, it's not really that long in terms of lifespan. It's long in terms of, you know, we made it past that 3, which most businesses failed in 3. So we met that part of it, but at 6 years old, it's not ready to go walk down the street by itself. You know, I look at it as an entity. There were times when we were struggling mightily, and I have to give another shout out to a group called SCDOLLARSMATTER. They have done a great job in kind of taking those resources and keeping them in the community. But there was a time where we were struggling mightily, and I considered enough is enough. It's time to shut the doors. But it wasn't that easy because we still got contractual obligations. We still got monthly notes. We still have a lot of things that have to carry on. So, for example, the customers that are still paying us for their car, if we close down, do they get a free car?
Right.
Or do we have to make sure that, okay, now we have to take that portfolio, try to sell it for 60 or 70 cents on the dollar, you know, try to back out of some of the agreements that we have. And so as this thing takes on a life of its own, that is kind of what, you know, kept us going, that we are responsible for a breathing entity, a tax-paying entity, something that hopefully will be a staple of the community for years to come. And delegating to get that to a point is something I still struggle with.
That's a